over the next 3 seasons. Number 5, it caught our attention. The Dallas Cowboys, who have not locked up a quarterback for the future, obviously they have a new head coach in Mike McCarthy, are ahead of Carson Wentz in the Philadelphia Eagles. Damian Woody's still here with us. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Do you think Dallas should be ahead of Philly when we're talking long-term over the next 3 years?
Hell no. They're the Dallas Cowboys. Why would anybody put them ahead of it? Especially over the course of 3 years, they can't make up their mind year to year. They can't make up their mind whether or not they want to pay their quarterback. They took care of Ezekiel Elliott. Was it after he performed? No. It was after he boycotted in Cabo. Okay, you got Amari Cooper. You gave him $100 million, all right? But you didn't want to have him on the field in key moments of the game last year. Okay, we know what Gallup could do, but he's under Amari Cooper. You know, you just look at it, you're replacing Jason Witten, which might not be much considering that he's an age-old citizen, but in the end, we respect his level of production over the years, all of this other stuff. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Mike McCarthy, we get what he brings to the table, whatever, but look at the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? This is the team that Carson Wentz took to the playoffs with a bunch of practice squad players, for crying out loud. Alshon Jeffrey missed about 5 or 6 games, so did Nelson Aguilar before he departed. Deshaun Jackson missed 13 games because he got injured in game 2 of the season and you only saw him one more game over the last 14 weeks or so. I mean, come on. You're talking about him being back. You're talking about the kid Jalen Reagor they drafted. So you got not one but 2 speedster. You kept Alshon Jeffrey and you got a dual tight end in Ertz and Goddard. And so when you look at that and then you look at their defense with Fletcher Cox and Graham and the crew, I'm sorry, along with the history of finding a way to get it done because you're playing in the NFC East where the Dallas Cowboys were supposed to reign supreme talent-wise, but somehow, some way, do you know what's coming, Molly? You know what's coming in, Damian Woody. What are they? An accident waiting to happen. Take your time. Just wait. Be patient. Don't sit up there and rush it. Don't get caught up in how they're winning early. Just wait. Right around Thanksgiving time, heading into Christmas. If you need somebody to be Scrooge for your holiday season, don't count on anybody more than the Dallas Cowboys. And now we got DeMarcus Lawrence. You heard the news about him. He's thinking about not showing up, but mad respect to him because, you know, his wife's, you know, pregnant, all of this other stuff. We wish him and his family nothing but the best. We respect it. But nevertheless, it's just one hiccup after another. Remember, guys, this is a team that was once en route to the playoffs and got a dude got himself arrested for stealing a pair of drawers and cologne from a department store. I mean, you can't make it up. Just wait. All you got to do is wait. The Cowboys will not let you down. They will mess up. Of course, they don't deserve to be ahead of the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, it's neck and neck. So they're 5-6. I think that you could go either way. My original inclination was the Eagles, but then I thought about it. When you're talking about projecting for the next 3 years, and that's not way in the future, but it's like the immediate future. It's more than one season. You talk about quarterback, you're talking about coach, and you're talking about front office. I think that you give the edge to quarterback to Dak Prescott. I think Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott are very similar as far as talent is concerned, and I think maybe even Carson Wentz has a higher ceiling. But Dak Prescott stays healthy and Carson Wentz doesn't. So I can have faith that at least for 2 more seasons, maybe not that third because of their contract situation, but at least 2 more seasons, the Cowboys are going to have a top-tier quarterback under helm and underneath center for their season. That matters. As far as coaching, I think that they've upgraded the head coach, but more importantly, they've upgraded the staff. They've added a bunch of former head coaches to Mike Nolan, Jim Tomsula, Joe Philbin. These guys are all on the staff with head coaching experience. And as I was looking at the coaching roster, this is a little bit of a side note that I noticed out of the 21 coaches that the Cowboys have listed, 11 of them were African-American, which, I mean, it made me feel good. It has no bearing on whether they're going to succeed or not, but it was nice to see. It was surprising to see in that situation also. Then you look over at the Eagles. I think that you give the edge to the Cowboys at the quarterback spot because of health. You could give the edge to the Eagles at coaching because their coach has won a Super Bowl, but so have the Cowboys coach. And the Eagles are a very adaptive team. They've been very impressive with the way that they coach up until this point to find ways to have success without their players out there. I'm not knocking them, but I think it remains to be seen how good this Cowboys coaching staff can be. They even have Kellen Moore, who I didn't mention, who is an up-and-coming offensive coordinator. I think that staff is better than people giving it credit for. Then you look at the front office. The Eagles front office may be one of the best in the league, but you have to look at the track record of what the Cowboys have done. They've provided talent on top of talent, and though it hasn't reached the potential that it should, you could go back to say that's the fault of the coach. So I think for the next 3 years, beyond that, I think I will lean on the Eagles. But the next 3 years, I'm leaning on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys to be just a little bit better. You see on that list, they're 5 to the Eagles 6. It's not like they're saying the Cowboys are 1 and the Eagles are 8. They're going to be close, but I'm going to put my money on Dak Prescott for being healthy and productive, which he's done every single year of his career. Break the tie.
I'm scarred. I'm scarred, man. I'm scarred. Like,
He knows.
You gotta
I'm waiting.
understand.
Uh-huh.
I went ham for the Cowboys last year. I went ham. I went
Tell
all
America.
in. Pushed my
Tell them what
chips
you
all
said.
in.
Tell them what you said.
I predicted the Cowboys
Say
was
it.
going to go to the Super Bowl last year. I did. And Stephen A. was on my head all last year. All last year. I had to fight tooth and nail with Stephen A. about the Cowboys, and then come down to the end of the season, the Philadelphia Eagles the Cowboys imploded. They imploded. So how can I go with the Cowboys again? After I've been starred like that.
Damian Woody, I only have one thing to say to you. I reckon you're right. Listen. I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to say this. The Cowboys do a good job of acquiring talent. They do a good job.
So what was the problem?
Almost as good as anyone.
Yeah. What was the problem? What was the problem with the Cowboys last year? Or the problem with the Cowboys in recent seasons, the last several years? The problem people point to is the one problem that they addressed. It was the coach, right? We've changed that. So maybe, unless you think the problem is more deeply rooted than that.
Wait a minute, but hold on. But here's the problem, Nick. And this is, again, I'm cut to the core. I'm cut to the white meat when it comes to the Cowboys. Here's the problem. Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl in how many years, Stephen A? Like 25, whatever it is. So, I mean, change
1995.
They changed coaches many a time.
Right.
But there's still one guy, Jerry Jones. He's still the architect of this whole thing.
I can't understand how you can say that Jerry Jones is the problem. Jerry Jones was there when they were dominating in the 90s, and Jerry Jones is also responsible for building up this roster that it is now. Jerry Jones has several problems, but building a football team, I wouldn't necessarily say is one of them. And well, up until this Dak Prescott debacle, that's a mistake.
Well, you see, old Stephen A. just left, and Southern Stephen A. just showed up to the proceedings because you asked a very important question, Dominique Foxworth. You talked about what's the difference, and you said that they addressed the one thing that was a hindrance to them, and that was the coaching. Well, I would dare say something to Dominique Foxworth that I've never had to say to him before. I would say do your homework. Over the last 25 years, it ain't just been the coaching, it's been everything. 1 minute it's personnel, another minute it's behavior, another minute it's dysfunctionality, another minute it's the coaching, another minute it's the lack of coaching, another minute it's the offensive coordinator.